Good evening. Tonight we're going to start lesson 24 in our unit 2. Recognize that a number is a multiple of each of its factors. Sometimes we confuse ourselves between the multiples and the factors. This lesson will help clarify that for you. List the factors of 6. 1, 2, 3, and 6. Yes, those are factors of 6. We can multiply 1 times 6 to get 6. We can get 2 times 3 to equal 6. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So now we have to ask these questions. Is 2 a factor of 6? Yes, it is, because 2 times 3 is 6. Is 5 a factor of 6? No. There is nothing that I can multiply by 5 to get to 6. So that is a big fat no. Is 6 a factor of 6? Yes, it is, because 6 times 1 is 6. List the first 5 multiples of 8. Well, we have 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. And 8 times 5 is 40. Those are the first 5 multiples of 8. Now we got to focus on these questions. Is 9 a multiple of 8? No, it's not. Nothing times 9 gives you 8. Is 4 a multiple of 8? No, because 8 times what gives you 4? Nothing. Is 8 a multiple of 8? Yes, it is. 8 times 1 is 8. Is 16 a multiple of 8? Yes, it is. 8 times 2 gives us a multiple of 16. That's the second multiple of 8. My favorite, multiply the input by 6. Oh, look at that. They're giving you the rule, the pattern. So each time we're putting a number in, we're getting the output of a different number because we're multiplying each one by 6 because that is the given rule. All right, so 3 times 6, well, that's 18. That's the third multiple of 6. Well, what number to get a multiple of 24? That is the fourth multiple of 6. The 10th multiple of 6, 10 times 6, is 60. Think about the number 16. What numbers have 16 as a multiple? So, what numbers can you multiply that will give you the answer of 16, the product of 16? Well, you could do 1 times 16. You could do 2 times 8 gives you 16. 4 times 4 gives you 16. And 1 times 16 gives you 16. These are all the numbers that have the multiple of 16. That gives you the answer of 16. Well, what are the factors of 16? The same thing. The multiples of these numbers are also the factors. Any number that has 8 as a factor also has 4 as a factor. A lot of words in there, but that's true. Any number that has 8 as a factor also has 4 as a factor. They're both can get the same thing. Use the associative property of multiplication to show that the given number is a factor of 80. Well, if you look over here, 10, is 10 a factor of 80? Well, if we use the associative property and group the numbers together, we could say 2 times 5 is 10, and then times 8 would give us 80. So yes, 10 is a factor of 80. What about 8? Is 8 a factor of 80? Well, breaking it up, 2 times 4 gives us 8, multiplying that by 10 to give us 80. 80 is a factor of 80. Yes, it is, because you have 80 times 1 is 80. So yes, 80 is a factor of 80. 80 is a multiple of 80? Yes, because 80 times 1 is 80. It's the same thing. I could say, what's the first multiple of 80? 80. 40 is a multiple of 80? No. Basically, that's saying is 80 times what gives us 40. There is nothing that you can do to do that. So that is 40 is definitely not a multiple of 80. 80 is a factor of 5. So that means I'm going to go 80 times another number gives me 5. Factors are numbers you multiply together to get a product. So that means 80 times another number gives me 5. No, it doesn't. That's incorrect. So this is not correct. 40 is not a multiple of 80, and 80 is not a factor of 5. Why did the student eat his homework? Gotta find out the next 2 questions to get to the answer. Good luck. Use the associative property of multiplication to show that 15 is a factor of 90. And then tell me if it's true or false if you were able to do it. And definitely bring in your work tomorrow to show me your associative property of breaking that down. True or false? 45 is a multiple of 90. Bring in your work tomorrow. Why did this student eat his homework? Because his teacher told him it would be a piece of cake. Don't eat your homework. Have a good night.